Houston, we have a problem. The artificial intelligence hype is already dying down, and from what I can see, I may have spoken too soon a few weeks ago in one of my videos when I said we may avoid another AI winter. More programmers are starting to report a decline in the quality of at least ChatGPT. I have also seen this in my own use of ChatGPT. I did allow for the possibility that it may have been issues in how I prompted the LLM. However, as an artificial intelligence that reportedly has conversations with itself 24/7, you'd think it'd be much smarter than current results show. The researchers who deep dived into ChatGPT and examined how it output information has seen serious issues in its results. Beyond the academic researchers, workers, and professionals, and people all across the spectrum who are using the artificial intelligences, they are seeing that it's not all it's cracked up to be. I noticed that in many cases, you may find yourself using ChatGPT longer than you expect. In some cases, you're spending so much time prompting and refining your prompts with ChatGPT that the amount of effort you spend in that could likely have been applied doing the process yourself the right way the first time. Yes, talking to ChatGPT is a form of programming, just like writing computer code in a code editor. The interaction with ChatGPT is no different in terms of the mental effort the programmer has to exert to get an end result. What is different is that when a programmer writes their code in a code editor, the code translation tool produces executable code flawlessly every time. The compiler does not fail. The compiler does not have bugs the way that we are seeing in ChatGPT. ChatGPT, as an even more general purpose compiler, does fail and may represent a regression in productivity in the short term to midterm. Technology leaders are already readapting large language models to more specific paths. As they do that, they will incorporate more of the conventional and tried and true programming approaches and flesh and blood programmers to make more limited and specialized AI. The computer industry has been there before as well. It's called expert systems. The specific article that I'm looking at right now does point out the flaws in developing AI in a closed and proprietary fashion. The article brings up something that I talked about in several of my videos over the past few weeks, in that open source is going to be the way. As someone who spends a lot of time looking at open source and making my own source code available in the projects I do in my spare time, I have to say that there's a slight twist to this particular situation. The article does not point out is that artificial intelligence works on data. It could be that the source code for the AI large language models is pretty decent, but you also have a problem with the data itself. Another way of saying that is all of the artificial intelligences that we see may not reach a good level of quality until we get to that Linux level with AI, where there is a more concerted involvement in a larger span of programmers. Ultimately, it may turn out that what we have with ChatGPT was a really good demo that was production quality, but not immaculate quality. When you combine insufficient code quality with questionable data, you're going to get the results you're seeing right now. I have a real-world example for you. When you go to Stack Overflow, a website that answers questions about software code, among other things, you will find that sometimes an answer is relevant to what you're doing, and sometimes that answer that works so well in some situations does not work well in your situation. And it could be that that answer is just now out of date, or it simply doesn't apply to your specific circumstances. The problem ChatGPT is going to have, and what the programmers of large language models are going to have, is there is no way to just look at the data and know that the data is correct. The AI doesn't really know what it's looking at. If it takes the average of all data sets where there's a significant impact from the data, where that data has flaws in it, you're going to get a flawed result, and it's going to increase exponentially over time as humans input a mix of unverified as well as correct data in the form of websites sourced by ChatGPT. We come to the major flaw of artificial intelligence, at least the way that humans are designing it right now. AI's source fuel is human intelligence. However, it's coded in websites, books, PDFs, articles, images, whatever that is available over the internet. The source fuel that we call human intelligence, we all know has a lot of room for error. Therefore, ChatGPT will continue to have a lot of room for error. At least we have the hype around AI. I still like the tools as I just see them for what they really are, a clever way to automate the routine conversion of text, images, sound, and data, and whatever. Programmers have to do that all the time, and it's good to have a tool that can do a lot of the heavy lifting, even if you have to go behind it and put in the final touches. It can still save you a lot of time if you know how to work through the errors. In the grand scheme of things, what the hype does is generate interest that directs investment focus in new and existing enterprises and makes people more interested in old tools that are made new again. That's fine. The only bad part about that is the premature reduction of the workforce in various industries on the hopes that there would be a rapid acceleration in the more general AI tech to supplant the involvement of human beings. And so AI has a lot of promise in the way that we are describing AI generally, but putting a more realistic lens on it is going to be the most helpful way of looking at it in the foreseeable future. Thank you.